Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Hey, yo, check this out. This is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey, yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another great edition of the Dante's Boxing Nation Show. I am your host, Dante, and we got another great show for you guys, as always. Damn, I'm damn near about to lose my voice over here. But anyway, man, we got a whole lot to talk about. Like I said before, I want to talk about these Golden Boy emails. I want to talk about the past fights this past weekend. You guys call in, give me your thoughts. You see the screen, you see the number, it's on the screen right there, so go ahead and call in. And you know what, let me go ahead and give a shout out to my sponsors, Box Fan Expo, man. Box Fan Expo is going to be out here May 6th, the weekend of the Canelo versus Chavez fight. So go ahead and check it out. Come meet and greet all your favorite boxers and everything. It should be real cool. The last one last year was pretty big, so this one should be even bigger. Now, let me go ahead and introduce the panel as we always do right now. Matter of fact, we may have some more people calling in for the panel. I want to go ahead and introduce my man, Kirk Jackson. He writes for the website boxinginsider.com. So go ahead and check that website out. We may have some more people on the panel calling in a little later, all right? So let's go ahead and get into this, man. Let's get it cracking right now, y'all. So anyway, Kirk, what's going on, man? What's good with you?
Not much, man. How you living? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. We got a lot to talk about, as always, man. So the first thing I want to ask you, Kirk, man, is what did you think about the main event? Let's jump right into the main event. DBN versus James DeGale. It ended in a draw. It was candidate for fight of the year. Both fighters got knocked down. It was pretty entertaining, man. I mean, who you thought won the fight? You thought it was a draw, or what did you think, man?
I picked James DeGale to win the fight based on his versatility, which I thought he would show more of. I thought he'd win a close decision. Watching the fight, I got to give the nod to DBN. He fought extremely well. He made plenty of adjustments. He was definitely the harder puncher. He negated a lot of what James DeGale was trying to do. And the knockdown in the end, to me, just capped off what should have been a decision victory for him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And shout out to my man Jamal Davis. Every now and then I'm going to try to peek at the comment section right now. And you was asking about the sizes of the sweaters. I got them in all sizes, man, from small to 5X. Matter of fact, I just sent some out to Terrence Crawford and his trainer. You know, his trainer wanted one, so I sent him one, and Terrence Crawford one. So, yeah, man, once again, man, I'm going to have them when I get a new batch. I should have the new batch within the next week. I should have a new batch of the T-shirts, the hats, the sweaters, and it's going to be on my website, nationboxing.com. You guys could just click on there. Show your support, man. Show your support. Go ahead and cop some because, we do this full time. You feel me? So it helps a whole lot, and it shows the support. You feel me? So going back to Kirk Jackson, what we was just talking about. Yeah, man, I mean, honestly, I was actually working on my my Tank Davis video right after he just had that sensational knockout over Pedradza. So basically, I kind of missed maybe a little bit, maybe about 20% of the main event. But what I seen, I was really, really impressed with and proud of DBN, man, how far he's come, man. I mean, like I said, this dude right now, he's the black, Rocky. He's the Cinderella man. He's always the underdog when he goes in. He started this fight off. It looked like he was almost about to get knocked out in the first or the second round. And, as the fight got deeper and deeper, he started to take James DeGale into deeper waters. You would have expected the more experienced James DeGale to do that to DBN. So I was really impressed. James DeGale, as good as James DeGale is, one thing I will say is he seems a little uncomfortable with pressure. That's That's what I kind of noticed. He's just a little bit uncomfortable with pressure. And so when it comes to someone like a Golovkin or something like that, even though I would love to see a Golovkin versus James DeGale fight, I would probably give Golovkin the edge in a fight like that because of his pressure. But when it comes to, and we've seen that in the Porky Medina fight too. In the Porky Medina fight, you could definitely tell that James DeGale, he was a little uncomfortable with the pressure that Porky was dishing out. So yeah, man, it was a good fight. And I mean, Kirk, what do you think about Floyd Mayweather saying he wants to put Badou Jack in there with Superman? To me, that would be, Black Rocky versus Black Superman. You know what I mean? I mean, what you think about that? I think that's too early, man. What do you think, Kirk?
Well, at first glance, you'd have to think, wow, that's kind of crazy. But given what we've seen from Badou Jack the last, 5, 6 fights, he keeps on improving every single fight. And I think it would be kind of disrespectful for us to even underestimate him at this point, because he keeps on improving. He keeps on, winning fights that, he's not supposed to win. And I take my hat off to him. I mean, you got to give him a chance. I mean, I think he can capitalize on some of Stevenson's flaws. And I think one of the things that's really underrated and underestimated about Badou Jack, and I think James DeGale could attest to this, is Badou Jack's defense and the way he makes adjustments. I mean, even against DeGale, he made the subtle adjustment. He would have a step back and then he'd throw the right uppercut that actually eventually ended up catching DeGale in the 12th round that knocked him down. I mean, I give him a shot.
Yeah, and that's an excellent breakdown, Kirk. That's an excellent breakdown. I totally agree with you. We can't really count him out, even though so many of us keep counting him out, and he keeps proving us wrong, regardless if you thought the fight was a draw or you thought that Badou won the fight. Or, Badou Jack, he keeps proving us wrong, and he keeps getting better and better. But I still feel jumping up to a higher weight class and fighting someone with the type of power, the accuracy. Adonis Stevenson, he has a Manny Pacquiao type of left hand in the light heavyweight division. Yep. And he showed me, because before I used to criticize Adonis' inside game a lot. I used to criticize him the same way I do Manny Pacquiao. They have a style very similar. They focus mainly on only landing the left hand, and it seems like they don't really have an inside game. I didn't really see too much of an inside game with Adonis Stevenson until he just fought against Top Dog Williams. He showed me he could fight on the inside. Oh, yeah, that was an excellent fight. And he showed he could fight on the inside. And he showed he could take a good punch, too. So, seeing all that, I was really impressed. But it would be a great fight. But there's a lot of good fights that can be made right there at 175. Matter of fact, Adonis Stevenson, he's in talks to fight Joe Smith right now, who we know just knocked out Bernard Hopkins. Adonis is talking to Joe Smith right now. They're trying to make that fight. So that would be another candidate for fight of the year. Somebody get knocked out in that fight, so. Oh, yeah. But let's go ahead and take a call real quick, Kirk, and see who we got on the line. Now, some of these people, because I got some people on mute, some of these may be some people supposed to be on the panel. But anyway, let's see what we got right here. We got 312. What's going on, 312? Hello? Okay.
Hey, how's it going, Dante? This is Kelvin, man.
This is Kelvin. Where you calling from, man?
I'm coming from the Chi. I'm calling from Southside Chicago.
Okay, Kel. What's good, man? What's on your mind, man?
Hey, first off, it was a great weekend of boxing, of course. Absolutely loved the card that Heyman put together. Once again, they blew it out for me. It's good to see the best fighting the best, and it's good to see some young talent getting up there. The first thing I wanted to ask you is, based on what we just saw, do you feel like Lomachenko is going to be threatened by what we just saw? I'm blanking on his name right now.
Javante. Yeah.
I kind of knew I called it. I thought he was gonna beat Pedraza, just because the kid is just that talented. He looks like a little Mayweather, a little bit of Mike Tyson. I've heard that description thrown out there. Maybe it was by yourself. But he definitely has that same psychological game that Mayweather has.
Yeah, the poise.
So, when I was looking at him, I was automatically just saying, wow, what would he look like in there against Lomachenko? And I want to get the panel's thoughts on that.
Yeah, man. You know what? Excellent question, man. Excellent question. This is the thing, and I'm going to be real. I think right now it's a little too early, but I would say probably in about a year's time, I could really see Gervonta Davis being Lomachenko's toughest fight outside of maybe a Gary Russell rematch or a Guillermo Rigondeaux, who just recently called out Lomachenko again at a catchweight. I do think that Gervonta Tank Davis, once again, give him another year. I truly believe with his composure, with his power, the fact that he can fight on the inside, he can fight on the outside, he's comfortable everywhere. There's no doubt about it. He's a huge threat. He's a huge threat. But like I said, I want to see him get a couple more wins, and then I could make a better assessment. What about you, Kirk?
I'm with you on that. I think he needs about another year or so, get a little bit more experience. I think this fight kind of reminded me of the Mayweather-Gennaro Hernandez fight.
It's man, you taking words.
Definitely.
You taking words out of my mouth. You taking words. It was one of those type of extremely breakthrough type of performances. And it's rare performances that you see. Like I just said, man. And I don't care how some of these fans and decavs take it, but I'm just being real, like I always am. This wasn't like a win over David Lemieux. This wasn't like that kind of win. This was just like you just said, Kirk. This was analogous to like a Mayweather versus Corrales. It also reminded me, and I'm not comparing skill-wise, but it kind of also reminded me of Broner versus DeMarco Antonio. These are the type of breakthrough performances that we seldomly see on this level when you're facing competition like this. And another one I'm thinking of, and I'm not saying I'm not saying, trying to compare them in terms of skill, but Jamal Charlo knocking out Julian Williams. You seldomly see,
definitely.
Yeah, you seldomly see undefeated fighters viciously knock out other undefeated fighters like they're just a journeyman. Because Jose Pedraza, right before I watched the Gervonta Pedraza fight, I was watching Pedraza versus Tevin Farmer, and I was really, really impressed with what I seen in Pedraza. His accuracy, his punches and bunches, the pressure, he was putting so much pressure on Tevin because Tevin started off doing real good. Tevin started off, outboxing him just in the first round. But after that, once Jose put that pressure on Tevin, Tevin was kind of, buckling under the pressure. I don't know if that fight would be different in a rematch, but that's what I seen in that fight. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much what it is, man. Hey, man, but thanks for the call, man, all right?
Hey, thanks for having me, and, man, always a pleasure, man. You guys are putting that truth out there, so, yeah, keep doing what you do.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That's why we do it. That's exactly why we do it. So, yeah, Kirk, I would love to see you, and it's so crazy, man, because the type of talent you have right there from 126 to 130, man, or 135, I should say, because that's where Loma is. It's really, really interesting to see what's going to happen. And then you have Terrence Crawford at 140. You got Lomachenko. You got Gary Russell calling out Lomachenko for a rematch. You got Rigo. What do you think when Rigo says that he wants to fight Lomachenko at a catchweight? I still believe that Rigo, he would probably be Lomachenko's toughest fight out of everyone, even with him naturally being smaller. What do you think? Do you give him a chance in that fight, Kirk?
Definitely. I favor Rigo. I favor him until he loses, until it's proven otherwise.
Yeah.
He has. Don't get me wrong. Lomachenko's a great fighter. One of the greatest amateur fighters out there, and he's proving himself on a professional level. But just watching Rigondeaux, he just has otherworldly skill.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And I agree with you. I would pick Rigo to beat him unless, Loma try to make him move up to 135 or 140 or something like that. But if there's no huge weight disparity, I would have to lean towards Rigo when it comes to that fight, man. So let's go ahead and take another call. See what's on the callers' minds. We got 901 on the line. What's going on, 901?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
All right. What's good with you? Where you calling from?
My name is William, calling from Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
By way of Memphis, Tennessee.
All right.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. One, I want to take time out to give a shout out to Tank Davis on that win. That was an awesome performance, man, and I just want him to keep his head, really listen to Floyd. Floyd is not telling him nothing wrong, man, by moving out of where he's from and getting more focused, because a lot is going to come his way now that he's the champ.
Yeah, I wanted to say this. What do you think the IBF should do? Because, man, I don't want Brooks to get away. I want him to fight Errol Spence. Mm-hmm.
I really don't. Do they have a time limit that he has to do something, because he's trying to avoid Errol Spence? Man, it's really frustrating.
Well, that's a real good question, and it's been really frustrating to all of us, man. But I truly believe that what I think the situation is they gave him a little time from his injury that he had in the Golovkin fight. And I don't know exactly how many more weeks or if it's a month he has before he has to decide what he's going to do. But, as you guys already know, I talked to the IBF president, and he already told me that, as far as he's concerned, if he doesn't fight Errol Spence next, he has to vacate. And I'm with you. I mean, I would rather see Kell Brook take the challenge, just like Amir Khan said, and fight him. But I don't think that's going to happen. You have to understand, skill recognizes skill, man. And when it comes to UK, they are some of the most educated boxing fans and boxers there is in the sport. So they're looking at what Errol Spence is doing just like we're looking at what he's doing. And I'm sure that behind closed doors, Kell Brook is like, God damn, this dude is good as hell. He a hell of a threat. He's really looking at it that way. Because once again, when you think about the fact that, he'll fight his mandatories, Kevin Beiser and Frankie Gavin and all these other guys, but now you don't want to fight this mandatory, that tells the whole story. So to answer your question, man, I don't think he's going to fight him. Unfortunately, I think Kell's going to give up the belt. And what's crazy is Amir Khan was the excuse that he was using not to fight Errol Spence before. But now, since Amir Khan is saying, no, you need to fight your mandatory because I want to fight for your belt, Kell. Now, since Amir Khan is saying that, now Kell Brook is really going to look bad if he doesn't take the fight. Because if he's not getting the Khan fight next and he fights another Kevin Beiser or somebody like that, a Liam Smith, that's going to make him look horrible. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
So say that he gives up the belt and Errol Spence has to fight somebody. Who do you pick for the eliminator? I mean, should it be what's the guy? Sean? What's his name? Sean
Porter.
Who had the belt? Yeah, Sean Porter.
Yeah,
should it be Sean Porter? Who do you feel that Errol should fight if as an eliminator bout?
Well, I mean, that would be a good eliminator bout. I mean, Sean Porter, Tim Bradley, fighters like that would be a good eliminator bout. Matter of fact, the guy he was supposed to fight was supposed to be Abel Sanchez, undefeated prospect, Konstantin Panamarev. But even Abel Sanchez himself, he said that his fighter is not ready for Errol Spence. And Abel Sanchez, he is really high on Errol Spence, like a lot of professional trainers and boxers. So I don't know. Kirk, what do you think about that question?
Oh, about who should be in the title eliminator between Errol Spence and whoever?
Yeah.
I think it should be Sean Porter. He's willing to make the fight with anybody, and he's definitely qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. That's what I was figuring. I mean, I wanted to see the rematch with Sean Porter and Brooks. I don't know why that didn't happen, but originally it was his belt that he took from man. I'm going blank because I'm kind of starstruck right now. I'm on the radio with you guys, but I forgot all my names, man. But Devin Alexander, yeah, he took the belt from Devin Alexander. So it was originally Sean Porter's belt anyway. So I felt that he should have rematched Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And got that shot. I mean, and another question, and now I'll go. I really think it's time for Sean Porter to find another trainer. I love his dad. You know, he a cool guy. You know, he used to be in the streets and all of that. But Sean is wasting a lot of energy in the ring. And if he can channel that energy in the right way, I think he would have beat Brooke. You know, but he's rushing in like a dog with his head down. I mean, he's not channeling that energy like he needs to. What do you guys think about that?
You know, I'm gonna give and I might be in the minority when I say this because I hear a lot of fans say that. And by the way, just if I do let you go, thanks for the call, bro. But
thank you for your time.
Oh, no doubt, man. But like I said, when it comes to that situation, I look at it like this, man. You really can't teach old dogs new tricks. I mean, you can do it every now and then, but you really can't do it. And I truly believe at the end of the day, it's up to the boxer. He's the one that's driving. I don't think when it comes to Sean Porter's style, I don't think that much is going to change because Sean Porter, if you look at what he does, I don't feel he does, anything really bad, but he boxes and he fights on the inside. So it's not like, he's one-dimensional. When he needs to use that jab,
right,
he uses a jab. When he needs to use foot movement, he uses foot movement. When he needs to fight on the inside, he fights on the inside. So when it comes to getting another trainer, what is he going to really tell him differently? What is he going to say? Well, okay, when you move around the ring, move around faster. When you fight on the inside, do this, do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, of course a trainer could tell him a couple different things, but I don't think we're going to see a different Sean Porter. I just don't. Like for example, with Floyd Mayweather, when his uncle, was suspended or whatever after that Zab Judah situation, Floyd was damn near fighting with no one in his corner, and he still looked like Floyd Mayweather. All right, so
right,
and it's not about everybody being Floyd. It's just the fact that this is embedded in you. You know what I mean? So that's how I see it. What about you, Kirk?
Well, there's a question of if he were to switch trainers, could this new trainer get the most out of him, like his father seems to? Because between son and his father, there's that level of respect and that level of love where his son's gonna run through a brick wall to please his father.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a question of can that trainer get the same out of him? Like the only critique that I have with Sean Porter is that sometimes he smothers his own work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I like for him to create space a little bit more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking on Sean Porter and his father, I think his father had an interview not too long ago where he mentioned that the reason why they never got a rematch with Kell Brook was for some reason they were taken out of the top 10 for the IBF rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And he never really elaborated too much more on that, but he did mention that. So I guess that's a reason why a rematch never took place, which, you can argue there definitely should have been one because it was a close fight.
Yeah, it should have been. I mean, yeah, he told me long time ago that the IBF, for whatever reason, they removed him from the rankings completely, which doesn't make sense at all because if you are a champion and you lose your title, most likely you're obligated to get a rematch, and you should be somewhere close in the rankings to get the rematch. So if that, is true, that sounds, hella salty and fishy, So, that's pretty much what that is. But I'm just happy for Errol Spence. Since my man brought up Errol Spence, I'm just happy that Errol Spence is finally in a position to where he's really got his foot on all these fighters' throat right now. He's basically closing in on them, and people are running out of excuses. Danny Garcia, he can't use the excuse that Errol Spence needs to fight better competition because you just fought the guy that Errol Spence knocked out before you in Vargas. He can't use the excuses. Keith Thurman, who I feel, is a real cool dude. He's a real honest person. I truly believe that Keith Thurman, not saying he's making excuses anymore, but he can't make excuses anymore because once again, now Errol Spence is like, I think the number 1 or the number 2 contender when it comes to the WBC belt. So he's closing in on these cats, so is everyone just going to hand their belt over to Errol Spence? It'll be, they
better not.
Man,
they better not.
They better not. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, man. So, but yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. We'll take another call. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a shorter show today. I got to take my son to the gym. He's going to spar today. He hasn't sparred in a long time, so we're going to go ahead and shake the rust off and get it in tonight. But let's go ahead and take another call. All right, so we have area code 904. What's going on, man?
What up, brother? What it do?
All right. What's good with you? What's on your mind? What's your name?
Jamar. I called in last time.
Okay, Jamar. Okay. Well, eventually, we start doing this on more of a routine. I'll start memorizing everybody, you know. So I do remember your name. What's good, Jamar?
Yeah, I had called about the what was it? The fight that came on. I think they had came in with the fight, and then they was talking about the Dan and Jacobs and the Golovkin fight that came on.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming up. I'm sorry.
The one that's coming up. You talking about the Golovkin? You still talking about the Golovkin fight?
Yeah. All right, bro. Hey, but yeah, like basically, I had seen a fight last week. I feel like I just heard the news that DEGALE-JACK is probably going to be fighting Adonis Stevenson. And I was like, man, that is crazy. I want to see that fight, but I don't know if he's like ready for that. He'll probably have to move up successfully to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if his chin ready for Adonis Stevenson power yet.
That's what we have to figure out, man, and that's what we were just talking about. Like I just said before, I mean, the fact if Badu and Adonis were naturally the same size, then, I could truly see it as a 50-50 fight. But, but the fact that, he has to move up and weight, and I'm still not saying that Badu wouldn't win, but I'm just saying it's more of a deficit for DEGALE-JACK because he has to move up in weight. And you're not just going up against a big, dumb, aggressive fighter. You're going against, a big, accurate boxer puncher. You know what I mean? So it's not like Canelo going up out of his comfort zone to fight a big, dumb, aggressive fighter. Well, I won't call him dumb, but let's just say, he doesn't have the most rhythm or defense when it comes to Julio Cesar Chavez. So with that being said, it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle, so.
It really is. Like, I'm really good at judging fights, in my opinion. I just won, like, $400 off Gervonta Davis. I actually betted on him.
Oh, congrats.
Congratulations.
Yeah, because, like, I remember I used to look at these fights, and I'm really good at getting these styles, like, in a play, because I feel like Lomachenko, the fights that are coming up, I know who's gonna win before it happens. Like, I feel like what you said earlier, like what you said earlier about the Kell Brook situation. I feel like he's like complete. I think everybody knows who's gonna win. Kell Brook's probably gonna take it from. Spence is probably gonna take it from Kell Brook. The Natalie Golovkin is still gonna be Jacobs. Lomachenko probably is going to be Rigondeaux, and it's always like this big confusion and there's like negotiations, like who's going to be who's going to win, and it's just like I feel like it's dumb. Like they should just go ahead and just fight each other, but you already know that's not going to happen.
Absolutely,
and
man.
I feel like the only way you can do it is if you just knock out everybody's competition, like Pacquiao did with Mayweather.
Yeah, that's really all you can do. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just listening to you.
No, everything you saying, we done pretty much touched on, and I feel you, man. But yeah, man, we gonna go ahead and take another call, bro. We got a whole lot of calls, man. So catch up with you on the next one, all right, man?
No.
All right, I had to let him go so we could get to some more people. Before we take another call, now, Kirk, I want to talk a little bit also about this Golden Boy situation. Obviously, you done heard about it by now, right? The Golden Boy.
Yeah, I heard. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Golden Boy situation. I just want to touch on this slightly right now because I've already done a video on it. But basically, for people who don't know, there was some Golden Boy employees and a boxing journalist. And they were going back and forth, exchanging emails. See, because right now, as you guys know by now, Golden Boy and Al Heyman, they're in a little bit of a lawsuit right now. So what's going on is they're going through depositions and everything, and both parties, or at least Golden Boy, they're trying to get certain things excluded from the lawsuit so it doesn't hurt their case. And one of the main things that's going to end up hurting their case is some of the emails, you know, that was basically found when they went through Golden Boy's emails, you know, employee emails and everything. And as you guys see on the screen right here, this was from Balderas. Balderas is a boxing journalist, and he was going back and forth with Romero Gonzalez. And basically, if you look at the email right here, it basically says, you know, I think my article goes deeper into what that nigger is doing. He is a scumbag. And basically, he's talking about Al Heyman. And, you know, the reason why I want to touch on this, because, you know, I talk about the code words that people use all the time when they talk about, oh, I can't stand this guy, Al Heyman. Oh, I have no problem with Bob and Oscar De La Hoya, but that one guy, Al Heyman, I can't stand him. He's this and he's that. And I'm just saying, you know, these are the type of code words that fans use. And another reason why I wanted to bring this up, because I want to let fans know right now, anyone that defends stuff like this, I don't want you on my channel, all right? So if you post in comments trying to defend, you know, people calling black people niggers and all that kind of stuff, I don't want you on the channel, all right? You either going to be part of the problem or you're going to be part of the solution, all right? And if you ain't part of the solution, then you're going to be blocked and banned from this channel. Ain't no reason for you to even be watching. And just to let people know that I practice what I preach. You know, when Freddie Roach went on his racial tirade and he was calling Mexicans racial slurs, he was calling Jews, you know, racial slurs, because he attacked Ellie Setback for being a Jew, and everyone in Robert Garcia's camp was saying, oh, you know, the dude got racist with us. You know, when he did that, I reported it. And I said it was wrong. And I said, you know, I'm surprised not enough people are talking about this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Now, when this email basically emerged and, you know, and popped up and everything, you had some people trying to defend Golden Boy by saying stupid stuff like, oh, well, you know, what about Mayweather? What about what he said? Or, you know, or, hey, you criticized Golovkin, so what about that? This is the type of ignorance that I'm talking about. Once again, when I criticize Freddie Roach for being, you know, for making these racist comments, I didn't say, well, you know what, forget about what Freddie said, because what about the fans that don't like Floyd Mayweather? What about them that criticize him, you know, trying to deflect and change the conversation? This is what decafs love to do. They love to try to change the conversation and, and have you looking at, you know, the left hand when the magic trick is actually done with the right hand, on that magician type shit. You feel me? So with that all being said, Kirk, I mean, what was your thoughts, man? Because Kirk is a boxing writer and a former fighter as well. So, Kirk, I mean, what was your take on this email from the perspective of a boxing writer and a former boxer yourself?
It's disgusting. I mean, you pretty much said it. There's really no excuse for that type of language when describing anyone or talking about anything. I mean, you don't refer to people like that. It's like you're dehumanizing people using that type of language. And it's really frustrating that some of the bigger outlets, like at ESPN, for example,
absolutely,
you know, a guy like Dan Raphael isn't talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not, if you go to ESPN and you go to the front page, it's a headline showing Badu Jack and James DeGale, which they do deserve. And there's coverage on, you know, Muhammad Ali. And then followed by that, it's UFC. There isn't anything regarding this, and this is a serious issue. Yeah. Especially if we talk about, you know, with the recent presidency with our new president and some of the buttons that he's pushed, and, you know, this transitional period that we're going through, and how this is supposed to be a progressive nation in regards to race relations and things of that nature. It just shows you how there's still there's still a large gap of separation between people, and there's a whole lot of ignorance out there. And you know, with Golden Boy, have they had any black employees aside from Bernard Hopkins and Shane Mosley? From my accounts, I don't think they have.
And honestly, Kirk, I don't even really think it matters, you know, even if you have black employees, because hell, Donald Sterling had a whole bunch of black employees, you know. So I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that doesn't even justify, you know, that you may be racist or may not be racist just because of how many black employees you have. I'm sure a lot of people of color have worked for certain companies and they felt discriminated against. So, I mean, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you know, people need to address this, because we all know that if they found emails of Al Heyman or anyone else on a coincidental list sending some of the most racist comments about Oscar De La Hoya, about Bob Arum being Jewish, or et cetera, this would be everywhere, right? I mean, because when Floyd Mayweather tries to go to ESPN to promote the Badou-Jack fight, all they want to talk about is Floyd Mayweather's personal past, the domestic case. They don't even want to talk about the fight. They want to talk about personal stuff that has nothing to do with boxing. So how come ESPN is not bringing Oscar De La Hoya on ESPN to talk about this? At least ask about it. What's going on with this situation? Or, you know, your employees, et cetera, et cetera. How come they're not doing that? You know, so this is what it's all about, man. It's all about exposing this stuff, and it's all about awareness at the end of the day. So, you know, that's pretty much. What's up?
So who are the most negatively thought of promoters or managers out there in the boxing business? Don King and
Al Heyman,
right?
and Rock Nation. Yeah, and Rock Nation. Yeah, because
and as you pointed to earlier, they completely forget to they neglect all the transgressions from Bob Arum, from Oscar De La Hoya. If we're going to go mixed martial arts, from Dana White, but they like to focus in on Al Heyman and Don King and the brothers.
Of course. The people on the coincidental list, like I said, we already know what time it is. But see, like I said, you know, situations like this pop up. I always tell you guys, man, the truth will always come to light. And it's like, we've been talking about these double standards, you know, since day one. And then all of a sudden, an email like this pops up. And once again, the code words are deciphered and translated, because that's exactly what just happened right now. And once again, you know, the dangerous thing about the fact that this email emerged like this is the fact that the people that were going back and forth emailing, they are in a position of power and influence. You know what I mean? So these are not just decafs, you know, in the comment section. These are people, you know, with influence. Yeah, like I said, this guy is bragging, or he's talking about how he can't wait to write another article on boxingscene.com about this nigger, right? He called him a black Hitler and all kind of other stuff. So once again, man, a light needs to be shined on this. If we could shine the light on Floyd Mayweather's past and his personal stuff that he's already took care of, then why we can't shine a light on this? So anyway, let's go ahead and take another call and see what we got right here. All right, so we got 604. 604, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, bruh?
What's good, man? Where you calling from, fam?
I'm calling from Columbus, Ohio, man. My name is Malcolm. I'm a long-time follower of you, first-time caller. Been listening to you for a couple years, man. But I'd like to thank you, man, for exposing the racism and white supremacy in boxing, man.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think that it doesn't exist, and it does. And it's a real, black eye to the sport that I love and I grew up with. You know what I mean? I grew up in gyms. I got 2 Olympic gold medalists in my family, 2 world champions in my family.
Nice.
I grew up in boxing, heavy in boxing. And, it pissed me off when they try to sweep, little shit like this. It's not even little shit, it's big shit like this under the rug and not say anything about it. It pisses me off. And, I'd like to thank you for exposing it, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, but, man. No doubt, man. Thanks.
About the, I forgot what fight I was going to ask you about, man. Damn.
Was it the last?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, man. That Badou-Jack and DeGale fight, man. Them boys was going at it.
Yeah, yes,
them boys was working. I love to see some shit like that. Them boys was working, man. He knocked dude's teeth out and everything. I said, God damn.
And I just threw the picture.
Crazy.
And we just threw the picture up right before you said that. I threw the picture up of
That's crazy.
You see it on the screen right there.
So,
yeah,
so like,
man.
what do you think is next for, you know, them two? Like, what should be their, you know, their next move? Should they go right back into a rematch, or
I mean,
should they both go their own ways and see each other later?
I mean, it's like all of the above. I mean, when I really think about it, I mean, I would love to see a rematch, but at the same time, I would also like to see them in there with new guys. I mean, I would like to see James DeGale go up against Gilberto Ramirez and unify for another title. That would be another good fight. I would like to see Badu Jack maybe against Joe Smith, you know, and I mean, that would be a good fight if he's going to I only say that because he's talking about moving up to 175. And I mean, I don't mind him fighting Adonis Stevenson either, but I mean, there's just so many great fights, man. You got Arthur Beterbiev, you got Kovalev, Ward, all at 175. Right. You got Alida Alvarez, who's Adonis Stevenson's mandatory, another good fighter. So, dog, there's just so many fights that could be made, man. But there's no doubt about it. Congratulations to Badu Jack and James DeGale for putting on candidate of Fight of the Year right now. And it'll be hard to beat that right there. But, you know, but we have a long time, you know, for the rest of the year.
Definitely.
So,
definitely. But, hey, man, I got 2 quick questions, and I like 2 quick answers, and I'm going to let you get up out of here, man. They're a little off topic, but it's some shit that me and my boy was talking about. Okay, first, my boy was telling me he tried to compare, you know, Rocky Marciano's legacy and record to, you know, Floyd Mayweather's legacy and record. You know what I mean? With them both being, you know, 49-0 and, you know, whatever. And I'm like, that's something, you know, messy to compare. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, he tried to say that Mayweather's record was the same as Rocky's record, and I'm like, But I'm like, you got to think about Rocky's record, man. He fought a lot of older fighters, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Joe Louis.
The fighters he fought, those guys, they were pretty much done. Ezra Charles, he was, what, in his 30s?
Yeah.
Them guys was done.
Joe Louis was way past his prime. He was only fighting just to pay off his taxes, and that's the only reason he even got in the ring. I mean, it's a ridiculous comparison. I mean, you can compare Floyd to Muhammad Ali. You can compare him to Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler and Hearns and people like that, Henry Armstrong. But to compare him to Rocky Marciano, that makes that person sound extremely uneducated in the sport of boxing. I mean, the fact that, you know, people have to understand and realize as well, you know, just like life, we evolve in life. You know, in the sport of boxing evolves. All sports, they evolve. You know, you look at how Joe Louis was fighting, and then you look at Muhammad Ali. This is why Muhammad Ali said, I would have destroyed, you know, Joe Louis. Because the sport continues to evolve. And the reason why I'm talking about evolution, if you just look at Floyd Mayweather's opponents alone, and you even put them up against a Rocky Marciano in the same weight class in division, you would probably even favor a lot of Floyd Mayweather's opponents over that style. If you really think about it.
And that's what I was telling him, man. I'm like, dude, where are you getting this from?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Well, you know, that's an emotionally attached fan. That's not a person who's really trying to base things on what logically makes sense. He's basing things on just who his favorite fighter is, and that's just what it comes down to. Because logically, that makes no sense at all. There is nobody.
I'm gonna let him.
There's nobody.
I'm gonna let him hear this too.
Oh yeah, there's nobody on Rocky Marciano's resume that compares with the, you know, the fighters, the Hall of Famers that Floyd Mayweather has beat. Floyd Mayweather beat the quote unquote 8 fighter of the decade. You know, 8 division champion.
And that's what I told him. I told him that. I said, man, it was all talk about, you know, Pacquiao until Floyd beat him. Then when he beat him, you know, y'all swept under the rug like it was nothing. Nah, give my man his props. He beat that boogeyman that y'all told him he couldn't beat. Give my man his props.
That's what they do, man. That's exactly what they do. They ask for it, and when they get it, then they you know, complain. That's pretty much what they do, you know. So that's what it is, man. But yeah, go ahead and educate that man. You know, help him out. He needs some help. So go ahead and keep helping him out, man. So
I will, man. Thank you, Dante, man, for taking my call. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, no doubt, man. No doubt. Take care, man.
What's up? Peace.
Hey, Kirk, man. Hey, Kirk, how crazy is that, man? How crazy is that, comparing Rocky Marciano to Floyd Mayweather? I mean, talk about night and day, huh?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
But it can be fun. It can be fun for certain fans.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely something to talk about, you know. And then you have some people, historians and stuff like that think they know all kind of stuff about boxing, you know. But you know, it's pretty much what it is. Now I'm getting a little confused. I don't know if I hung up on. Let me see. 614. Did I just talk to 614?
Hello.
What's going on? What's good, man?
I'm right here.
Oh, this is the same person. Okay. All right. You were the one I was just talking to right now about Rocky Marciano, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. All right, bro. Well, I'm going to let you go, man. Go ahead and take care, man. All right. So let's go ahead and take another call. Let's see what we got over here. Let me see. So we got 312. What's going on, man? 312, or is that somebody probably already? Let me see. All right. We got 402. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Dante?
All right, man. What's good? Where are you calling from? Who's this?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay. What's good, man? What's on your mind?
All right. I don't know. Who's Jeff Horn, man?
That's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question right now. That's the $1 million question.
Yeah, I wouldn't be tripping about it until they start throwing shit on Terrence Crawford, you know?
Of course.
Making those false accusations of wanting, I think, what was it, 10 million or something, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
In reality, it was Pacquiao who wasn't, you know, he was pricing himself out of the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, listen, man, we already know what time it is. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I mean, there were so many opponents that Manny Pacquiao could have fought. So many opponents he could have fought. I mean, this is the guy that some, you know, websites have said is still considered number one, the best welterweight since Floyd Mayweather retired. And he's fighting against Jeff Horn. You know, I mean, once again, this is the whole thing. If Manny Pacquiao doesn't want to just be remembered as the guy that lost the fighter of the decade, like I keep saying, you need to get in the ring with one of these young lions, and that will help kind of balance it out, the fact that you did lose, you know, the fight of the decade. Fight one of these. Yeah. Once again, we have not seen Manny Pacquiao in there with like a Canelo type of opponent. We haven't seen him in there with a Maidana, somebody who's 20 pounds bigger than him. They're just all over you like a cheap suit, you know, putting you in a dogfight. We haven't seen Manny Pacquiao in a fight like that in the welterweight division. Now, don't get me wrong, when he was a featherweight, we seen him in great fights like that. But since he's been a welterweight, he hasn't been in the ring with those type of opponents. So, I mean, we might have to do add an extra category to the award show as the most unknown, you know, fighter of the year as well, because Jeff Horn.
I think he's up there with Rod Salka. He's right up there.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I mean, and even Liam Smith. I know some people knew the Smith brothers out there in the UK, but a lot of people didn't know who Liam Smith was, you know, until you know Canelo just pulled his ass out of nowhere, you know. So yeah man.
Canelo wait.
And you know, and something else I thought was interesting. I believe I read, Kirk, that Bob Arum, he wanted to put that fight on free TV. And I don't know if it was Manny Pacquiao that didn't want it or someone who opposed that idea, but I think that even Bob understands nobody is going to buy this fight, because if the numbers didn't do good in the third Bradley fight, in the Jesse Vargas fight, who's going to pay for Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn? I mean, that fight right there. Oh my God, man. Okay. I mean, my whole thing is that should be on free TV.
All right, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Take care, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
All right, Dante. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Bye. Yeah, that should be on free TV, man. I mean, that's pretty much how I see that. But I mean, and there's no reason. That's why I haven't even done a video talking about it. I mean, you know, Manny Pacquiao, he's in a bit of a conundrum, just like Kell Brook. But Kell Brook's situation is a lot worse, because at least Manny, he can say, look, I finished second place when it comes to my era, and, you know, I won titles in 8 different divisions. He can say all of that. But yet, at the same time, the whole thing is, who is Manny Pacquiao going to fight? I mean, is he going to just continue to just basically ride off into the sunset? And is this kind of like a farewell tour that he's doing where he's just going to collect a couple checks and just not fight anyone? Because, Kirk, I don't believe that he's going to fight. I mean, do you believe that he's going to fight anybody at the top part of the welterweight division right now before he retires? What do you think?
No.
Yeah, simple. Simple.
We've seen moves like this from Manny Pacquiao if we check his history, but I think he's trying to stay busy in the hopes of luring Floyd Mayweather out for one more fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if he can, and you know what, he may actually get that because Floyd wanted the Conor McGregor fight, and he can't get the Conor McGregor fight. So, and he says, it's about working smarter, not harder right now, since he's already considered the best fighter of this generation. With that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes the rematch. And everybody who say they don't want to see it, those are people who are saying that because they already know he's going to win. And if they have to watch Floyd win again, we're going to get some more, suicides. Like we probably got the night of the Manny Pacquiao Mayweather fight. So it'll, I look for, I don't have a problem with the rematch. I really don't have a problem with the rematch, but Manny Pacquiao will have no more excuses, even though we already have proven that the shoulder injury was extremely bogus. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
The magical properties of the ocean to heal that, right?
Yeah, that's all you got to do. So for everybody, according to Manny Pacquiao, you break your leg, you break your arm, just jumping, go to the beach, jump in the ocean, and it will be healed. You know what I mean? So according to Manny Pacquiao, don't try that saying I told you to do it. But anyway, so yeah, man, let's go ahead. Hey, let's take another call, man. Let's go ahead and take another call. So who we got over here? We got did I just do 402? My bad, I'm getting confused with these numbers. It's a 402. Was I just talking to 402?
Yeah, you were just talking to me.
Okay, bro. Hey, take care, man. I forgot to.
Hey, man, later.
Yep, for sure. So we got, let me see here. Let me go ahead and go to, damn, is that another 402? Okay, we got 516. What's going on, man?
Dante, man. First time caller, long time listener, man. God bless. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, fam. What's good, man? You sound like you from the East Coast, New York or somewhere.
East Coast, Brooklyn, New York, man. Brooklyn, New York.
That's what it is. What's on your mind?
And I got a few things on my mind. I'm just gonna go ahead and speak on it and let you guys talk about it. First off, I was at the fight this past weekend. Great fight, man. Great fight this weekend. Also, I had a newfound respect for the women's division in boxing because I was very impressed with them girls. Those girls were fighting like dudes, man.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool,
Yeah.
Also, do you think that Mayweather kind of messed up the boxing game with the whole A side, B side, meaning that I've recently become disgusted with Canelo now with the whole making Chavez come to 164 point whatever, knowing damn well that this guy has a bad history of not making weight. Like, I personally think that Chavez is gonna eat the what did they say? $1 million per pound?
Per pound. Yeah.
I personally believe that he's gonna make maybe about 166, and then he'll just eat a couple of million because there's no way he's gonna make that. There's absolutely no way he's gonna make that, in my opinion. And also, the last thing I wanna mention, and I'll let you guys continue to speak about, is the whole Al Heyman and Oscar De La Hoya thing. Like, it's really disgusting where, like, nobody's talking about it, and I don't understand why, but if it's Mayweather or one of these black promoters, there'll be a major problem. And what do you guys think Bernard should do? Being that, I know he's like a partner with Golden Boy. What do you guys think he should do, whatever? And I'm pretty much going to let you guys go. Dante, thank you so much, guys. and have a blessed. Yeah, hopefully 2017 will be good to you like it is to me.
Hey, no doubt, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the call, and thanks for giving us some cool stuff to touch on, man. So go ahead and take care. Let me hold on for 1 second before we let's see. Did he hang up over here? Make sure. Okay, so yeah, man, yeah, he brought up some good points. Yeah, when he talk about the A side, no, I totally disagree with that because the whole thing is the A side has been around since the inception. You go all the way back to Joe Louis, you know, and they had the A side and the B side. There's always going to be a fighter who's, you know, a bigger name that's going to, you know, get the bigger slice of the pie unless they're on the exact same level, which we've seen that before. So, I mean, yeah, that didn't start with Floyd Mayweather, but this is the type of indoctrination that decafs, they try to employ, you know, like Grand Wizards of the decaf, like Jim Lampley. They'll try to get you to believe some ridiculous stuff like that. Just like I remember, like maybe a year before the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight took place, I remember we all did a roundtable with Oscar De La Hoya, and all of these reporters, they kept asking Oscar, and I still have the videos up, but they kept asking Oscar, you know, since Floyd Mayweather, you know, came along, you know, now everyone cares about their undefeated record, you know, trying to blame it on Floyd, saying that all he cares about is his undefeated record, et cetera, and just constantly blaming it on Floyd. But yet, when you have fighters like Golovkin, who has this undefeated record, when you have fighters like Canelo, who's protecting the one loss that he has on his record, these same reporters never even say, why are these guys trying to protect their O, and et cetera. So, you know, if you sit over here and just believe everything this fed to you, you know, then they're going to make you look like a goddamn fool. So, you know, that's pretty much what it comes to when it comes to the A side. I mean, you got anything on that when it comes to, you know, people saying that Floyd is the reason why we have an A side, Kurt?
No, I mean, like you said, this has been done since the beginning of boxing. We go back to Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto. Boy, I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, we're in an era where social media is, you know, the thing. So, I mean, we have more access to information now. So we're not sitting in on the negotiation meeting, but a lot of us can find out what the terms and what the conditions are. So we have more access to everything. So we have the ability to be more critical, you know, of certain terms. And we didn't have that back in the 90s, the 80s, and prior to that. To blame Floyd is convenient. You know, it's lazy, but he's definitely not to blame. We can't fault him for taking advantage of his position, a position that he worked extremely hard to get. Can't knock him for that.
Exactly. And then he talked about Chavez making weight. What do you think, Kirk? Do you think Chavez? You agree with dude? He said there's no way he's making the weight. What do you think, Kirk?
Yeah, that's up in the air. He might just not even make weight and just say whatever, fuck it.
He might do it for charity, huh? Yeah, just do the fight for charity.
I mean, I hope for his bank account he can make the weight, but I mean, I don't know.
I think this might be more, to me, I think this may be more motivation. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, and I tell people this, I would not be surprised if the fact that he's forced to do the right thing, you know, we may end up seeing the undefeated Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. You know, this may force him, you know, to get in the best shape of his life, you know, because he has that incentive. He has that extra motivation. You know, it's like somebody basically telling you, you know, you got to lose weight or we're going to put you in jail. We're going to put you in prison or something like that. You know, you have incentive. And I think right now, Chavez, he has incentive to lose weight and he has incentive to be in the best shape of his career. So who knows, man? He may just surprise people. And something else people have to think about is the fact that, remember, guys, Chavez can make the weight and then balloon back up to 200. So because from what I hear, there isn't a rehydration clause. So, you know, if there's no rehydration clause, then yeah, man, he'll be able to still do his thing. And I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he makes weight and he comes in tip-top shape, maybe looking chiseled for the first time, who knows, man? This may actually be a real fight. So, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say for all the fight fans, I hope he loses weight the right way and does it, gradually and doesn't try and kill himself, the week of trying to make weight so he's all, fucked up. Excuse my French, but
no, that's all good. Hey,
I hope he goes about it the right way.
I hear you. And I haven't been able to really check the comments. I just checked right now, and I made some of you guys some moderators. So if you see some decaps in there just talking about some ridiculous stuff, go ahead and block them. The ones that I made moderators. Shouts out to my man Jim Jones. So that's pretty much what it is. Kirk, tell me about this. You just told me right before we started. Tell me about this Amir Khan news, man.
So apparently he has a sex tape.
Wow.
With someone other than his wife.
Oh, so you didn't tell me that part. Oh, you didn't tell me that part. Oh, I thought you was talking about it was some old stuff that, just resurfaced. You talking about some recent stuff. Oh, wow. That's the stuff that'll kind of mess up a marriage right there. But and
I should give credit to an article on the Sun,
okay,
the UK based publication, and I guess there's an X-rated clip showing him in just a t-shirt and his boxer shorts, and he's performing a sexual act on himself. I guess he's masturbating.
Damn.
He's talking to some girl on Skype, and then there's some other stuff. So I don't know. He's on some.
This is why Khan ain't fighting Kell Brook. He too damn busy doing what he do. Oh my goodness. God damn, boy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy right there. We'll see.
And they say the timeline was a few weeks after his wedding.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Anybody in the comment section heard about this news? Oh man, that's pretty crazy, man. That is pretty crazy right there.
For his sake, it ain't true, but I mean, damn.
Yeah. And man, shouts out to my man Milton R-Line, man. I meant to hit you up. That's my boy. I was gonna have him in the studio today, but we ended up doing that at the last minute. So we'll probably have my man Milton back on the show next week. So yeah. What are your thoughts on Lara versus DeGale? What's that? Def something? Inevitable. He asked, what's the thoughts on Lara versus DeGale? I mean, the whole thing is Lara is a junior middleweight and DeGale is a super middleweight. So I don't think that fight would ever happen. I would like to see DeGale. I would like to see Lara versus Golovkin. He keeps calling out Golovkin. I mean, Kirk, what's going on with your boy Golovkin, man? Why do you think he won't fight Lara? Why do you think it is he won't fight Lara?
Because it could expose his weaknesses and he'll look bad. And according to Abel Sanchez, Golovkin already went to Cuban school when he fought Willie Monroe Jr. According to him, he's schooled with the Cuban school of learning, and he's a bigger name, right?
Yeah. And you know what, Kirk? Also, the fact that I actually got the privilege to watch Golovkin spar, and he sparred two different guys. He sparred one guy who was an Eastern European fighter, and it was a cruiserweight. The other guy he sparred was a Cuban, right? And let's just put it this way. The Eastern European fighter, Golovkin looked sensational. Knocked this guy down multiple times, right? I mean, over and over, he knocked this guy down. When he sparred against the Cuban guy, which is Sullivan Barrera, it was a different type of sparring session, and that's all I'm going to say. It was very competitive, because I don't want to, throw nobody under the bus or nothing like that, but let's just say the sparring was very competitive. It was completely different than when Golovkin was sparring with the other guy. So,
Is this the same Sullivan Barrera that people were trashing when Andre Ward fought him?
Absolutely. And the same Barrera that just knocked out Shabransky another undefeated prospect that, you know, some of the decaps were saying was going to be the next, you know, Hope King Kong. You know what I'm saying? So, and, you know, he basically got knocked out and exposed by that same Barrera. So, no, yeah, Barrera looked real good against Golovkin. He looked real good. You know, it's sparring, but he looked good, you know. So shouts out to Golovkin and Barrera for, you know, letting me witness that. But anyway, man, go ahead.
You mind if I give a shout out to someone I know who actually sparred Tank Davis leading up to his fight?
Go ahead, anytime, man. Go ahead.
Shout out to my boy James Earl. He is from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. He sparred with Tank Davis leading up to his fight. So shout outs to him. He's a young up-and-coming boxer out on the East Coast. Follow him on Instagram at King Earle, or follow him on Twitter. So I want to give him a shout out. So appreciate that.
For sure. What did he say? What did he say that experience was like?
He said it was unreal. They didn't let him tape the sparring, but he said Gervonta, that boy can crack. As we all know, he can crack, and extremely fast. Pretty much everything that all the verbs, exploratives that we've used to describe him is accurate. Like, he's very poised, very sharp, accurate, and crack. I mean, he's the truth.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He is definitely the truth. I mean, you said it. I think it was you that said it. You said it reminded you, or I don't know if it was one of our callers, said it reminded him.
That was me.
Okay. That's so crazy, Kirk, because I'm not just saying that. That's exactly what I thought about when I was watching that performance. I mean, I haven't felt like I've seen someone extremely special, you know, outside of Errol Spence. I'm just saying, I'm talking about extremely special. Like, since I seen when I used to watch Floyd Mayweather when he had like 6 fights, it's like you knew that this dude was extremely, extremely special. And when I used to watch Roy Jones on Tuesday Night Fights, you know, those were the type of talents you just knew this person was like on a whole nother level. And not saying there's not other fighters, because there are a lot of talented fighters, you know, out here now. But I mean, when I watch, especially when it comes to American fighters, you know, when I watch this Tank Davis performance, that's exactly how it felt. It felt like when I was watching Floyd with only 6 fights, when I was watching Roy with about 15 fights, just playing with his opponents, knocking everybody out. So, man, I really look forward. And you know, another thing, Kirk, is every punch. How often do you see that, man? Every punch that Gervonta throws is animated, and it just looks impressive. You know, he throws a jab, snaps your head all the way back. You know, he throws these uppercuts that just look like something out of a video game, you know. So, I mean, he's very, very impressive. And, you know, I'm proud of him for being the youngest champion in boxing today. And, man, I look forward to seeing bigger and better things with Gervonta Tank Davis, man. So, guys, we're going to go and wrap it up. Like I said, I got to run to the boxing gym myself. We're going to take Remy up there, to the gym so he can go ahead and spar and everything. So, man, once again, I want to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Go ahead and call in next week and let us know what you think. Something else, too, man, for the decafs that, you know, are bold enough to keep, you know, doing drive-bys in the comment section. You know, if you really believe the rhetoric that you be pushing out, go ahead and call up the show and see how that shit pans out. And they probably ain't going to do that because they know damn well that they're going to get hit with the truth. So, you know, that's pretty much all I got for now. And I want to say thanks again, my man on the panel, Kirk Jackson. Check out his website. He's a boxing writer for BoxingInsider.com. You already know your boy Dante. Dante's Boxing Nation. We on to the next one, y'all. Deuces.